dead steroid, and then the skeleton was still there. Now, what would the school
Knowledge to live in your presence and to work with you to build a better community for all of our citizens. Give us the faith and courage to put our trust in you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, please?
Ferguson,
Here.
Bishop,
Here.
King,
Here.
Schloninger,
Here.
Challenger, here. Lakeman, Spavelt,
Here.
Chamberlain,
Here.
Blaisdell.
Everyone should have a copy of the July 17th, 2012 meeting minutes and the August 7th, 2012 special meeting minutes. Are there any errors or omissions? If not, we'll stand as presented. Under communications, I have one. Says, Dear Columbiana City Council, Little Clipper Football Association is requesting to have a tag day on Saturday, September 22nd in the city of Columbiana. LCFA will contact all places of business to ask permission for our members to be at their storefronts. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, Sean Zender. We'll act on that under new business. Everyone should have a copy of the Planning Commission meeting minutes of August 14, 2012, the Park Recreation Cemetery Board meeting minutes of June 25, 2012. Any comments on either of these?
Do we know what's going on with the fence project at all? Other than what's on the master?
They've actually started with some of the permanent fence. I know when I went through yesterday that it's on the right-hand side if you're looking at the ticket booth. I don't know how much of that they're going to get done. They've started that, and then I also understand they're going to do the ticket booth too. That's still on the. Is that still on schedule, Jay? Are they going to ticket booth too?
They're going to wait for a couple weeks that they don't have any home varsity games before they start the ticket booth. They have 13 columns completed, ready for the fencing to be put up.
And my understanding is they've got a lot of donations, so they want us all by donations.
Any other comments? Okay, under recognition of person desiring to speak to council, on the agenda we have Paul Rance concerning the Christmas parade.
Good evening. I'm here with the Chamber, from the Chamber of Commerce, and we'd like permission to have a Christmas parade on November 17th at 10 o'clock, starting at the Joshua Dixon School and ending at Union Street.
We need to make a motion for that? Is that
Yes. Anybody have any questions or anything?
10 o'clock?
10, he said.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Great start. Number 17.
Any other questions or comments? Ian?
Ferguson,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Schloninger,
Yes.
Challenger, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's nice having that parade every year. Next one on the agenda is Corey Boker, Columbiana Pump.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm here for, other than if there was any questions, what Keith was going to present. But like I said, we're looking to put in electric furnaces, and we need a substation put in. maintain the jobs that we have, the 60 plus, but it has very good potential to produce another 40 to 60 jobs, so we can do a specialty metals thing also.
That's what I was gonna ask you, if you could just explain, we kind of talked on there the other day about how this improves your business,
Yeah.
and what you can do
Yeah,
more efficiently and so forth.
Yeah, right now we can produce gray iron casting, which is becoming a less of a commodity compared to ductile and other specialty metals with the cupola. Everybody's going more to the ductile side of it, which we lost. We couldn't do a ductile in 1990. The majority of the business was gray iron at that time. Now it's making a swing because if you use ductile, you can use less metal. It's lighter for people to handle, like fire hydrants. We used to make fire hydrants. We lost $2 million worth of business. And, like I say, there's a lot of potential with ductile out there to turn around and expand the business. So, and maintain what we have. A lot of the valve boys come in and they're going to ductile also. That's the issue.
I'm not familiar, what is that, different metal versus the,
They look the same. It's got more properties between cast iron and steel combined together. There's the difference. I mean, they look the same, but they can actually be lighter. They've got stronger properties. That's what it is. Like I say, why they make fire hydrants out of that, I don't know, because all it is a shell. Other than for, the city picking up gearbox and the motor, they can, instead of weighing, like a fire hydrant for us used to weigh anywhere from 75 to 150 pounds. Now they can probably do a fire hydrant from 45 pounds to 80 pounds. So I mean, it's less injury through the thing. It actually costs more for it, but they use less metal. So I mean, that's some of the different structures that they're using in other areas also.
does this help you with emissions or anything like that?
Actually, there's less emissions.
So this will help you that way?
Yeah, EPA, I mean, we're in compliance now with what we have, but EPA has got rid of a lot of cupolas over the years. But like I say, our compliance, we're good with what we have now, but they said the emissions are even lower with that.
And you would completely do away with the cubicle?
Yeah, we will have the cupolas for, we're hoping less than 6 months until we work the bugs out of everything. And once they're out, then we will eliminate them completely. Because we're allowed, our capacity is 6 ton an hour. And we're currently about 3.5 ton an hour.
How long have you guys been in the process of wanting to do this?
Well, we've been looking at it for about the last 3 years, pretty strong because they've been converting. I mean, it's a $2 million project, is what it started off at. And we found some used equipment and getting it redone, certified, and but it'll be a lot cheaper. But we'll still have probably close to $1 million in it.
And Keith, this estimate that you have here, I mean, this is our responsibility to put in as a city?
That's not to exceed the cost estimate, yes. And what we'll be doing is be putting in a mini substation for them, and I call it a mini substation because it's small compared to what the other ones we have. Be just one transformer. We'll go to the metering, and from that metering point on, then it's all theirs. That's how we serve customers, to the meter.
And we have purchased their equipment. We got the correct EPA to install. Something we're thinking about.
I mean, is this something we would normally do, that we would foot the bill for?
If we serve a customer, yes, we've got to serve them.
And was this budgeted?
It wasn't budgeted, but when I look at the electric fund right now, we have about 1.4 million in our fund. So it hasn't been going down too much with all these other projects we have. We started the year with 2 million. We have a lot of projects going on that are going to come to an end. So, yeah, we can handle this. It's not a problem.
Well, let's say...
We wouldn't have budgeted because we just...
Right, I can understand.
Okay.
But let's say another company in town comes to us and says they want a substation. Are we going to do another substation?
if we serve them now like we do cold pump, it's really our, if we're in this business, we have to serve people. If we had this happen again, which we don't have any that would do that, okay, you're just,
Well, let's say Century
you're
can't
picking
do it.
out something that Century wouldn't need this kind of power, they do theirs a little different, okay? But, they have such a demand, these furnaces cause such a demand. We originally looked at putting this on our 12.5 system, okay? But the problem is it completely eats up our capacity on that circuit. And we could actually do that, don't get me wrong, but the problem is then it eats up all that capacity and it's just not a good way to do it. This is the best way to go. We have this transformer that we've taken out of service at the North Substation. We can use it. But I don't know if I'm answering your question. If you're asking me if somebody else would come to us, yes. A few years ago, you weren't a councilman, but quite a few years ago, Columbiana Foundry came to us, and they wanted us to build a line and so forth. And we borrowed the money at that time and did that project.
And this will just serve coal
We
pump.
were just serving.
Like I say, we had some budgetary numbers that he was running. It looks like our electric bill is probably going to be in the high 30s to 50,000 a month.
I've estimated, when we were done the other day, I think at least 50. And where we're gonna put this, it'll be on their property. They've agreed to give us the property or give us an easement to set this equipment on. I'd probably prefer just an easement, but no matter what, we'll have control of that property.
And we can't do this ourselves, we have to sub it out to Thompson.
We really couldn't. And whatever we've had Thompson do other things in the past, time and materials. Just when they were in town, they've always treated us well. And we'll watch it. We'll watch it.
Any other questions?
So correct.
I'm sorry.
My question would be to Keith, considering that the amount of electricity that they would be buying, usually estimating $50,000 a month bill, how long would it take to amortize the cost of the putting in the substation for them?
To
Amortize the cost.
we figure about 2 years.
Anyone else? Thank you. Thank you. We have an orders later on, so we'll probably be talking about some more. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak to council this evening? Managers report.
Okay, you got a copy of the police department report for July. Also, you received a copy of the building and zoning department report for July. Also gave you a copy of the fire department report for June and July. We had a notification regarding the liquor permit for Paul's Italian Grill, 36 South Main Street. And they're asking whether or not we want a hearing. You know, we've handled these in the past.
Someone like to make that motion?
I'll make a motion, we ask for a hearing.
Any comments? Yeah.
Bishop,
No.
King,
No.
Schoniger,
No.
Callender? No. Ferguson?
No.
And I also gave you a copy of the Public Service Department report for July. And gave you a copy of the bill list for dated 8/7, 8/21. If anybody has any questions or comments, try to answer.
I have a question on your letter to the council. It's always very helpful to see where we are in these projects that we've discussed
Okay.
in the past. One looks like it may have fallen through the cracks here. The issue of having Mahoney County do some inspection work for us seems to have fallen off the horizon. Last time we heard from you, Dan, it's going to be a couple of weeks.
Well, the hold up at this point is getting Bob to Columbus to take the test. Once he's certified, then we can proceed. The prosecutor in Mahoney County is aware of that, and we're waiting for that to be done.
I thought originally we were able to do that without him taking the test.
There was considerable discussion between the Mahoney County prosecutor, the state building department, and they insist upon having this department sub-certified. We don't have a department until Bob becomes certified. So by reason of that situation, the prosecutor in Mahoney County and I agree that it's best that we have, if we're going to sub-certify our department, we have a certified employee of our department. Then we'll have our residential issues resolved. Then Mahoney County will take over the commercial
Well,
side.
at this point, it seems we ought to have some sort of a pretty definite target date, because this has been wide open for about.
Well, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, I think Bob's about ready to take the test. I thought it was.
I don't know that. I know he's been working.
Yeah, I think he should be good at the end of this month.
The planning commission meeting last week, I talked to him, and he said he was real close.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
guessing
within the next
Actually, I
couple
thought,
weeks, I think he would be taking that test.
I talked with the Mahoney County prosecutor's office last week, and they're comfortable with it. Bear in mind that there's no detrimental impact on any commercial building because they take the plans directly to Columbus now. So nothing has changed. They're not adversely impacted by our related process.
We still have to vote on the contract with them.
No, yeah, and that's why.
So do you think within the next 2 to 3 weeks, Bob will have taken the test?
What did he tell you?
He said he's real close, and he indicated within the next couple of weeks he would take.
And this test will certify him as
Residential buildings.
a residential building inspector.
And that will enable us to certify our department as a sub-department
Of Mahoney County.
And then they'll take over the commercial end of it for what was otherwise down in Columbus. So it's an acceptable arrangement, and it's not prejudicing anyone at this point.
Will you keep us on your status letter so it doesn't fall off this?
I can do that.
Thanks.
Anything else for the city manager?
Yeah, I have one thing. Keith, about 3 weeks ago, I called you about the roads over at that Suzanne development. Have we found anything out?
Yeah, I looked into that. They were completed, they're about 12 years old. And city council at that time accepted them.
Is that finished grade?
That is finished grade. Some of the things I see out there that happen, don't always happen in other streets. There's not a lot of traffic. So it seems like they get a little stained or whatever, like a reddish.
Well, I don't think they're concerned about the stains, they're concerned about the cracks that are developed in those roads.
There are some cracks developing. I've seen them on other developments too over the years. But the only thing that we could do there is have some crack seal or whatever. You know.
I mean, is that our responsibility or the developers?
No, it's ours because
They were dedicated.
they're dedicated.
And because it's kind of a different type of finish, it's not a blacktop.
Yeah, it was
finish.
probably the material, well, it's blacktop, but it was probably the aggregate that was available, say, 12 years ago. That stuff seems to change, the mixes seem to change to the good, I will say, over the years. And I would say, 12 years ago, that's probably what they were using. We had some of the same problems with the cracking out at the trailer park that Suzanne built. And I think some of it has to do with the base, because they used, like, I would call it an ag slag base, a fine material. And sometimes that stuff got hard, like concrete, and then it'll want to crack, because it doesn't give as much as. But it was accepted. I mean, it's accepted material. He did nothing wrong.
Well, I'm not saying he did. Can we look at filling that before the winter time comes?
We can look at that.
Because some of them appear to be a little bit larger than just
Yeah, probably
a crack
half
ceiling.
inch, I'd say. Something like
And does he have any other plans to put any more houses out there? I
that.
mean,
I haven't seen any at this time. I know his plans is to complete the circle, but, the market for housing, of course, is falling off.
I mean, I've been contacted by people who have contacted him, and he won't build any more houses. So I'm just wondering why that is. If somebody wants to buy the home, why he won't?
Well, I think the development is all full where he has a street dedicated, so he would have to put in more street. Maybe.
No, I think there are a couple
Yeah, I don't
lots
know
that are there ready to build. And people have contacted them, and I've been getting calls because people who live there want the development at least to look a little bit better. And I don't know who's, they don't know whose responsibility it is. I mean, if people call him to build a house.
That's his choice, that's his choice, whether or not he wants to build a house. I don't know.
Can we, is there any way we can make the entrance look a little better? I mean, when people pull in, it's just that kind of dirt road with big piles of dirt. Can we as a city put up fencing or something to hide some of that?
I'd prefer not to get into that.
Can we ask him to do that?
Shouldn't that be the developer?
Yeah, I mean, can we ask him to do that?
We can ask.
That's the developers, not us, that do something.
I mean, that's to the left, if that's what you're.
Right, when you first go into the left. And then as you go around the circle where it just dead ends to a dirt road.
It does.
He can do whatever he wants.
That's his property there. I mean, we have no control over that. We only have control where the road's dedicated.
Right, can we contact him and ask him to, some of the people who live there would like it to look a little nicer. And they paid a lot of money.
I can do that.
Anyone else? Okay, we have no old business, we move right into new business. Need a motion to approve the request for Sean Zentner, Little Clipper Football, requesting to hold tag day on Saturday, September 22nd, 2012 in the city of Columbiana.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Deanne?
King?
Yes.
Schonifer?
Yeah.
Callender?
Yes.
Ferguson? Bishop?
Yes.
Okay. And we have one ordinance. Due to the length of the ordinance, may I have a motion to read it by title only?
So moved.
Second.
Deanne?
Yes.
Callender?
Yes.
Ferguson?
Yes.
Bishop?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
And this is an emergency ordinance. May I have a motion to suspend the normal 2 readings and read it as an emergency?
So moved.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Deanne?
Callender?
Yes.
Ferguson?
Yes.
Bishop?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Schonifer?
Yes.
Ordinance number 12-0-2702, an emergency ordinance enacted pursuant to Charter Section 12.04B, authorizing the city manager to engage Thompson Electric to install an electric substation.
So moved.
Any comments?
Do we have to put this out to bid?
No, because we're doing this as an emergency, that's the reason we're doing. In my letter, I explained that I just don't have time to get plans designed and get it out for bid. They want to be in operation in October. We just don't have time, that's why I got the quote from Thompson Electric for not to exceed, but it will be a time and material. And we can do that according to the charter, the section 1204. Dan wrote this ordinance. We've done this before. Maybe not since you've been here, but I know we've done it.
I just find it odd that they've been developing this for 3 years and now we have to do this as an emergency.
They've been developing it.
Right.
We haven't been developing it, okay? They've had this in their mind, but they just came to us a short time ago and said, we're ready to go. So that's what we're on.
Any other comments? Deanne?
Ferguson,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Schreiber.
Yes.
Callender.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda, we have an executive session for a discussion of purchase of property. And motion to go to executive session.
So moved. Second.
Will you do business afterwards? Okay, we'll do business after.
Bishop,
Yes. One moment, please.
King,
Yes.
Schreiber,
Yes.
Callender.
Yes.
Ferguson.
It's a question of more information to accept that property or more information to raise and tear it down.
I don't think part of it needs, because that's original thinking for these construction, just an attitude and attitude. The other part is, if we just tear up the asphalt, water will percolate in there a lot better than the runoff that we have now.
However you want to make it.
So you want? Depends on what kind of order you want to go.
Keep it maybe,
Motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Again?
King,
Yes.
Schreiber.
Yes.
Callender.
Yes.
Ferguson,
Yes.
Bishop,
Oh, yes.
Council comments?
Keith, I forgot to ask you about one thing. There was a letter in there about Columbiana Bridge, or I'm not sure. South of the bridge that, from an engineering company?
That's for the South Main Street Bridge Replacement Project. And we'd asked for qualifications. I had got 3 qualifications. The firm that I picked, number 1, had done the preliminary engineering on it and so forth, but I couldn't ever negotiate a contract.
Did we pay them?
I only paid them for the preliminary engineering, which was really nothing but filling out a form for the grant. And we paid them for that, and so, nothing.
Wasn't very much.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, was it 1,000, 5,000, 10,000?
Probably under 1,000.
Oh, okay, it's just, all right.
So now we have that, now we're gonna put it out to bid.
No, so now I gotta look at the next engineer and try to negotiate a contract with them.
Who's twisting our arm on that? Is that EPA or?
You mean the bridge replacement?
Yeah.
It's a safety issue.
ODOT says so, or do we say so?
Well, our bridges, those bridges, the county engineer inspects. Okay, so it's not on a state highway. They do that, they evaluate them, they give us a scoring sheet and so forth, and it's critical.
That was never intended to be a truck route in the first place.
That bridge is really old.
Which leads me to ask this question. How did we come to make South Main Street a truck route? I know about the overpass, I know about all this stuff. You were
Way
here.
before my time.
You're pretty lucky because if you were here, you should be ashamed.
So, and we do have a grant for replacing that bridge.
We do have a grant.
Yeah.
How much is
How
it?
much of a percentage?
80%.
Now, we always started 80, but when reality
Yeah,
is
it's-
Some towns end up at 60.
Public works is 80%.
is
But we have safety engineering.
Okay, but you feel
Pay 20% plus engineering. And what I said is, I couldn't negotiate a correct fee for engineering for this firm. And the reason I say that is Ohio Public Works has guidelines that you need to follow. I can never do within those guidelines.
net of the 80% grant, how much is coming out of our hands?
Dollar-wise.
I need to quote that. I'm thinking that.
It's a ballpark number.
I'm thinking the project is 150,000. So 20%.
I was gonna say, that's not much.
And that's why I said don't quote it, because I'm not positive.
No, you're saying 150,000 is our 20%, or that's the total
That's
cost?
the project.
Well, that was my question, was how much do we have to take out of our high?
Well, that would only be 30,000, if using those numbers.
And don't quote me on it.
Because they're slippery.
They're slippery, they can be slippery by 50 or so.
It's like fuzzy math.
Any other council comments? Motion to adjourn.